All right, hello everyone. So I think this is giving pretty sleepover. This is giving pretty cool. Welcome to the first video. I hope you guys are doing well. It is presently, I think, like 11:30 at night, and we are going to be doing this. So basically, this is going to be a pick a card reading about what are we letting go of in 2026. What are we fed up with? What are we gonna have to work on in order to release in this upcoming year? So I am very, very much a Haley Tarot fan. I don't know if you know a Haley Strawberry, but she's awesome. And she does this thing where you can like pick a pile and she like taps on objects beforehand. I'm a big fan, and I'm very adamant on, I'm very keen on ASMR, so honestly, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I have 3 objects right here in front of me that you guys are going to be able to like intuitively just resonate with. And with these 3 objects, you're going to be able to say, hey, like I want to pick this pile or the other pile. So I'm going to be tapping on them first and foremost, and then afterwards I'm going to be laying them out on my bed in order for you to be able to choose with your site. So pile 1, we have cloves, clou de girofle, cloves. So I don't know if you can really hear it. Doesn't really make that much sound. How do we open it? Does this even make sound? Oh, that sounds are crazy cool. Okay, so that was cloves, and I need to close it. It smells really a lot. Pile number 2 is going to be a box of ground cardamom. This one should be better. And this one is going to be rosemary. So really ground rosemary. Ah, this is awful. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that doesn't make any sound. I like the lid sounds low-key. So rosemary, as you can see by the picture here. All right. If you guys want a visual of it, this is pile number 1 with our cloves, pile number 2 with our cardamom, and pile number 3 with our lovely rosemary. I'll give you a second to look at it and choose. Alrighty, so pile number 1, we have cloves. So what's going on with cloves? So for your specific pile, we're going to be using archetypes, the archetype stack that I don't use often, but for this one, I'm sort of gravitating towards it. And we're going to be seeing what are you letting go in 2026. We are curious. So I'm not good at shuffling cards. My bad in advance. But bear with me. So if somebody has any like tricks to give me to shuffle cards, like any tutorials to send me. Oh, okay, this one wants to come out. So we have hedonist. Light attributes, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Shadow attributes, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. Okay. We have another one that came out, the Hermit card here, as you can see. So what does the Hermit say for the light attributes? Light attributes, seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. Shadow attributes, withdraws from society out of fear of negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. Okay, so already we have a lot of information. I'm going to pick another card and then I'm going to speak about it. So I'm going to be shuffling. So right off the bat, okay, I don't know if you guys do this in your house, but I have, I think it's kind of like maybe an Armenian thing, but I'm really bad at shuffling. But with cloves, okay, hold on. Actually, I'm going to shuffle and then I'm going to speak about it. How the hell? you're supposed to shuffle. Oh, okay. I think I got it. Look. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. So here we have child wounded. Ooh, okay. And it's reversed. Light attributes awakens compassion and desire to serve others. Wounded children opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. So this came out as reversed. So right off the bat, okay, sort of what I'm understanding from this pile specifically is that, well, we started off with cloves, right? And cloves remind me of a variety of things, but more importantly, they remind me of something that I came across recently. So I went to somebody's house, like this, family friend, and I was like looking at their windowsill, and on the windowsill they had placed a bunch of little cloves, and I asked, hey, why are you putting these cloves there? I'm very curious. And they said, well, it repels bugs. So if ever like a bug or rat wants to come into the house, they're going to be repelled by the scent of it, and they're going to want to not really approach it. And that's kind of like the vibe that I'm already getting from this reading. I think that you have been surrounded by really invasive energies. I feel like there are a lot of really overwhelming situations happening in your life that you are going to try to sort of like detach yourself from. You're going to start to maybe divest from these situations a little bit more. You're probably also going to, you're going to learn, I think, next year to set a lot of boundaries, because I feel like a lot of, I feel like some of your connections maybe this year lacked boundaries. I feel like you were letting yourself sort of be, I'm kind of getting this vibe where you were letting yourself be played knowingly. You knew that you weren't necessarily receiving what you deserved, but nevertheless, you let yourself be in these situations because it was comfortable for you. It was familiar for you. This is also what I'm getting with child wounded, right? So this is sort of an energy to me that's like, you're staying in this situation. You know that the situation touches one of your really fundamental wounds from your childhood, and you know that the other person's actions come from a wounded space, a child wounded space as well. But nevertheless, you are allowing yourself to indulge in these relationships. And I'm getting one specific relationship. I'm not getting that many relationships per se. Why? Because I feel like it's comfortable for you. I feel like you might have a little bit of an inability to, or not necessarily an inability, but you have a fear to be recluse, to be sort of more to yourself. I'm sort of getting the Hermit. I got the Hermit upright, but I do feel like it would be more sideways. I feel like it's a little mix of both light and shadow in this situation. I would need a little bit of clarification on that one, but I definitely feel like with the Hermit, you're going to learn next year how to set those boundaries with people. You're going to learn how to set limits in order to detach yourself from dynamics that originate from toxic patterns that you vicariously absorbed from your childhood. You're going to detach yourself from relationships that ignite and that open up wounds from your childhood. Why? Because I feel like you're going to learn how to heal them. I feel that in this process of healing your childhood wounds, you're going to have to stay alone. And I think that this is going to cause you to be a bit uncomfortable. I don't think this is necessarily going to be something that's going to be super easy for you to deal with. And I'm really sensing one relationship specifically. Maybe some people, this deck really specifically pertains to one person, or maybe a lot of people at the same time. But in my opinion, what I'm kind of getting with this deck is you're going to seek another level of fun. And I think that that's really amazing. I think that this year or these past years, you have been having a lot of fun. Like, don't get me wrong, even within these relationships that can have a little bit of a toxic taint to them, you have been having a blast. I think these are not relationships that are always consciously acting in a negative way against you. I think that these relationships have their really good moments, and you know that these people are a lot of fun. You want to have fun with them and everything. And I get that completely, but I think that at the same time, next year, you are going to sort of, you're going to have to back away from these people to heal all of the negative wounds that emerged from the upheavals in the relationship. And within that, you are going to also be detaching yourself from a previous conception of fun. So a conception of fun that was a bit more superficial than the one that you're going to develop in 2026. I think in 2026, you are going to learn to, discover yourself, explore different facets of your personality, explore types of fun that are much more fulfilling for you and that are not instantly gratifying or instantly validating. They're not just a blast. They're not just, sensationally interesting. They're also extremely fulfilling and they're intellectually stimulating. Hedonist is kind of giving me this, it's giving me the sense that in the past you were gravitating towards relationships that were really fun, but on a very superficial level, on a level that isn't fulfilling to you. And I think that now you are going to be embarking on different activities where you're going to realize, oh, even if this activity is more serious, maybe requires more dedication as well, I'm still having fun here. And not even am I only having fun, I'm also feeling much more poured into. I feel like the cup is being poured into a little bit more. The cup being my cup, your emotional cup. So I think that that's definitely something that I'm sensing with this cup, and I feel like it's going to bring a lot of abundance. That's what cloves also, talk about. Abundance and prosperity are really, really, synonymous with cloves. So I think that that's definitely something we are going to be exploring with this pile in the future, in our 2026 year. Now I'm going to clarify. I'm going to try to gain more detail with Mr. Tarot. I'm using different tarot cards today. I'm using my tattoo tarot cards. And for me personally, I love using images. Images are so cool. And these images, I guess, unfortunately, I have a little bit of a harder time working with them. Because I haven't I feel like the actual tarot, the standard tarot, they have more compelling, more clearer images to work with. So I don't know. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting here. Again, I am terrible at shuffling cards. It's actually blasphemous because I've been doing this for 9 years. It's my first time on YouTube. Hello. But yeah, I've been doing this for a really long time. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Wow. You have the world. Oh my God, I love that. You have the world sideways, but I don't feel it sideways. I feel it maybe sideways upright. I don't feel like the sideways is really telling. You have a lot of cards, so I'm going to definitely be putting them on the side here. So I'm going to show you the cards themselves. You have 6 of Wands. You have 10 of Wands. You have Mr. the Hanged Man, which is a major arcana card. You have Miss Queen of Coins, which is Queen of Pentacles. The Empress. And you have 6 of Swords. Now, see, I am not necessarily familiar with these. I'm familiar with the cards, but only through different images. So, bear with me here. Okay. The World is such a telling card. I think that next year is going to be a spiritual level up for you. I feel like you are going to reach a part of yourself that has been underlit, overshadowed by the toxic dynamics that you have been in. And you might not even realize yet that these are toxic dynamics, but I feel like slowly but surely you're going to realize that there are these toxic dynamics in your life that you have to let go of. I'm sensing 1 or maybe 2, but I'm gravitating more towards 1. And again, the Hanged Man here, 1111, I chose that at 1111. Well, the Hanged Man is about different perspectives. It's about looking at something under a new light, looking at something in a different angle. I think that this is really, really telling on the fact that I think you are definitely going to be looking at your relationships under a different angle. I really think that this pile pertains to relationships. I don't think it's going to be like that for every pile, but I think that it pertains to relationships. But I think moreover, it not only pertains to relationships, it also pertains to activities. I think that you are going to be shifting your priorities from relationships, from exterior gratification to more internal gratification. But that gratification, of course, that gratification is going to be coming from something external. It's going to be coming from something that exists in our world. But hear me out. I think it's not going to be something that's dependent on somebody else. I think it's going to be something that's going to be a little bit more focused on yourself, something you want to do. I think that the activities you want to do are going to be brought to the forefront this next year, and I think that's beautiful, and I think it's going to require patience, but I think that you're definitely also, oh, okay, yeah, I sense this a lot. I think that you are going to be really incarnating a little bit more of your feminine side. I think that this year was a very masculine thing. Masculine. It was very action focused. It was very, very rambunctious, not necessarily pejoratively, but it was just rambunctious. There was a lot going on. You were taking action on a lot of things. You felt like life was really quick. You felt like a lot of things were going on at the same time. And I feel like in this upcoming year, you're going to be in real healing mode, and you're going to be wanting to receive. I have a lot of really feminine cards. I have a lot of really feminine characters that are appearing within this pile, right? I have Miss Queen of Coins. I have Miss Empress. Miss Empress is a major arcana card. So right off the bat, we have this really, really, accentuated energy of femininity that's definitely going to be brought up and brought out by this year. Not only that, Queen of Coins is a very stable card. We have heavy, I'm getting Taurus energy. I have heavy Taurus energy in this card. I have this very sort of like stable, grounded, established vibe in this specific card that I'm really fond of. I'm really getting good energy here. But in order to reach this level of groundedness, you're going to have to be giving up what has not been causing that groundedness, what has been super tumultuous for you. And I think that that's going to be maybe a bit of a challenge, as I have said before, but I think you're going to be able to do it. Now, I do get Six of Wands, 10 of Wands, right? I think the 10 of Wands definitely also ties into your childhood wounds. Six of Wands, what the fuck does a Six of Wands look like? Y'all, give me a damn moment. Let me show y'all my computer. Where the hell is it? Because I'm telling you, like, I have another deck of cards that I just lost. And I'm like, I don't know where they are. And I use them all the time, like, in my own personal practice. And I'm like, oh, like, I memorize, like, the images, right? I don't memorize the fucking words. So now I'm, like, really destabilized. And I'm like, oh, my God. But the Six of Wands, okay. Six of Wands, what I'm getting with the Six of Wands is, what does this? I think I got it, but the Six of Wands to me also talks about shifting your priorities. Yeah, no, shifting your priorities, actually. Focusing on what's important to you. I think you've been backtracked, like side pedaled a little bit. Like you've been side pedaling. You've been like sort of looking at what's peripheral. And this year you're going to be centralizing and noticing, okay, what's important for you. So that's sort of the only thing I'm getting here with the Six of Wands. You have a lot of six. So balance, harmony, but also focusing on what's actually important. I really do see a really solitary year for you, but not in a pejorative way. I see a year where you're really going to be able to connect with yourself, but in a hermit mode that isn't isolating and that isn't toxic. It's going to be really fulfilling for you. But yeah, your dynamics are shifting. I think that's a really, really big thing. Your dynamics are shifting. So I'm really, really happy for you, actually. This is a really like positive energy that I'm getting from this vibe, and I'm loving the archetypes. Archetypes are really good. Architects, archetypes, same old. Okay, well, I can't find my computer. That's great. All right. Yeah, Six of Swords, pretty much similar energy. I'm not getting the Six of Swords is really a big energy in this pile per se, but okay, hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so I went online, I looked at the pictures, and I have an answer for you guys. So now I have the pictures in mind. Bear with me, I'm sorry. I know it's really unprofessional. I look like a newbie, but I'm not. I swear it's been 9 years. Anyways, so Six of Wands, Six of Swords, a Six of Six of Wands. it's literally resonating with everything else. It's echoing the same energy of sort of like, no, not Six of Wands, sorry. Six of Swords. Oh my god, I'm awful. Six of Swords here. That's echoing that same energy, right? Of sort of isolating yourself, but not in a negative way in this situation. I think it's because you are going to be finding better things for you. And Six of Wands, well, I think that a lot of your childhood wounds have to do with a lack of give and take balance. I think that you have either been taking too much or giving too much, and you're going to be realizing that there's no balance in these relationships. You're going to be realizing also that it comes from a childhood wound. Let me pick on that one. Or actually, yeah, you're going to be realizing, okay, yeah. Let me check. Yeah, High Priestess. You're going to be realizing, you're definitely going to be realizing that you have some wounds in terms of your feminine energy and in terms of your spirituality as well. I think that you have been maybe spiritually blocked this year a lot. And I think that you're really going to be tapping into your spiritual energy. You're going to be tapping into your meditation. Everything to me, like the underlying story is that you are going to be calmer this year. I think you're just going to be really letting go of the action. So sorry, you're going to be letting go of the action that this year brought for you. And I think that it's going to be doing you a lot of good. I think you're going to choose it too. I don't think it's always going to be chosen for you, but I think that at times you're really going to be like, hey, this is a lot for me. You're going to be able to take those boundaries. You're going to be able to set those boundaries and take others' boundaries too. Now that I think of it, maybe people are going to be setting boundaries with you and you're going to be like, okay, like it's good. We're fine. But anyways, so this is definitely an amazing, beautiful card. And I think with Six of Wands, yeah, I think you're going to be really generous with yourself. And I think that other people are going to perceive it as, oh, who the hell has she become? I think that it's not necessarily going to be the easiest for your social relationships. I think that people are going to be like, what the fuck? Like, why is she not giving anymore? Why is she not doing anything? Like, why is he just remaining in his seat and not really, like, engaging anymore? I think that you're going to hear them out, but I really think that overall you're going to prioritize yourself, and that's really beautiful. That's all I feel for pile number 1. So, thank you. I hope you guys have a great time. I'm so sorry for the lack of professionality. I don't really know how to say that word. But, yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. So, au revoir. On se voit plus tard. That means we will see each other later. Oh, yeah, I speak, we're going to be, mainly speaking in English, but there's going to be some Arabic and French that's going to, come out. That's what happens when you're a mix. Anyways, yallah. So now, okay. So everybody, if you chose pile number 2, Mr. Cardamom, this is your reading. Mr. Cardamom. What a beautiful Mr. Cardamom box this is, right? Cardamom is one of my favorite herbs. It's an herb that... It's an herb. It's not a spice. It's a spice. Or is it an herb? It's a spice. It's a beautiful spice. This is green cardamom. I feel like... This is so odd. I'm getting a really specific message for this group. I think for this group, I'm going to start with tarot. I started with something else earlier on. I started with the archetype deck for the previous pile. I think I am going to be using the archetype deck for this pile as well. But I think that I have like an intuition that I really want to confirm. Again, as I told the other pile ones, I am not good at spreading. So please, don't be thinking about that shit, y'all. Not spreading like that. I'm talking about, like, shuffling. I'm not good at shuffling. I'm losing my mind. Sorry. I have exams. It's university, and I am, going through finals. It's not been the easiest, but it's fine. Oh, this one is flying out. 9 of coins. Oh my goodness gracious, everybody. We have some intense energy that's been wanting... Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm getting for this pile. What I'm getting for this pile is, wow. Oh, okay, this is intense energy. Everybody, pile 2, what the hell are you doing? The hell are you on? Jesus. Yo, I'm getting like, serious, like, not hot flashes, but like, Jesus Christ. Pile 2, I think that, first and foremost, this is a really specific message. You are going to be more ethically conscious. I think that you have not been debaucherying, but I think that you have definitely maybe a little bit been sort of distant with, or maybe even like condescending vis-a-vis like the different, how can I say this? Like, you're going to be more ethically aware. You're going to be more ethically aware. You're going to be a little bit more anxious this year, but not about really directly personal things. I think that the world, events of the world, are going to affect you more this year. So I think that in the upcoming year, you're going to lose some of your innocence, some of your blindedness. I think your blindedness is going to sort of like goodbye, you know, and I think that you're going to be maybe a bit more environmentally friendly. You're going to start questioning your practices. And this is a really specific message. I don't think everybody's going to resonate with this, but this is what I'm getting. I also sense I'm getting this image of somebody making like a stew. And they take a little, like, you know, spoonful of stew, put it in their mouths, and it only ends up being those really big, like cardamom pods, right? Like those really, really big pods. That's what I'm sensing. I'm sensing that you are going to be a little bit more critical towards yourself, pile number 2. I think you are going to be letting go of any form of accountability that you've been avoiding last year. You're going to be more ethically conscious, and it's going to level you up, and I think it's going to be really amazing for you. I think that's really the way to go. I'm biased. I think this is a really good quality to have, but I do think that it's going to cause you to intellectually level up. I think you're going to be nourishing your intellect a lot, pile number 2, and I think that's really, really amazing. I'm sensing a lot of earth energy, so I think you're going to really, really cement some of your values. I think that in the past years, you have been a little bit flimsy. You've been a little bit wishy-washy. You have maybe associated yourself with people who do not necessarily correspond to your values, but you don't exactly know why. You can't really pin why. You just know that there's something about this person that I'm associating myself with. Like, I love them, but there's just something about them. I don't know what it is. I just don't agree with it. I think in this upcoming year, you're going to be letting go and also discovering what is the source of this ambiguity. Why do I not know what this person's problem is? Why do I have a problem? What does this reflect about me? And furthermore, how can I become a better version of myself? With pile number 1 was low-key a similar energy, but it was more relationship-wise. I think that this is not relationship. I think it's more like you're gonna have a more objective and a more aware, a more conscious, a more intentional perspective on your external surroundings. And I think that that's really amazing. And I think that you're really, really going to be building next year a solid foundation for yourself, because I feel like in the previous years you were lost. I think this is something that I'm getting a lot for this pile. You were a little bit all over the place. You had a lot of options. You had a lot of different things going on in your life, and you're sort of like dilly-dallying. I don't know if that's the right word, but you were sort of like going about your life, trying a lot of different things, kind of getting samples from a little bit of everything at Costco. But now what you're going to be doing is, in this like next year, you're going to be settling a little bit more. And I'm not talking settling badly. I'm not talking settling for the bare minimum. I think you're going to be determining what you want to settle for, what you want to ground yourself in, and you're really going to be evaluating your worth and what you can bring to the table. And I think that's amazing. And I really think that next year you are going to be really actually, I think you're going to be axing your year on almost exposure therapy. A lot of that has to do with doing different things that you don't know. This is kind of like what the Three of Cups is giving me. Usually this is a celebration card, but more for this pile, I feel like it goes beyond just a celebration pile, a celebration card rather. I really think it also pertains to you just sort of expanding your horizons and trying different things. And I think that you're really going to be letting go of closed-mindedness, a certain form of closed-mindedness that you didn't necessarily realize you had, but that you're definitely going to be enlightened about. I'd say in the beginning of the year, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Artist. Athlete. Bully. I don't know what bully is yet. Give me a moment. But just talking about athlete and artist, literally these two cards are what I'm talking about. You are going to be exploring. I think you have explored so many different things, and I think nothing stuck. And I think that now that I'm evaluating what I'm saying, I think that a few things are going to happen for you. You're going to continue to explore, but you're going to deepen your explorations of things. You're not just going to surface level to understand something. You're going to want to explore it on a deeper level, because you're going to want to know if it sticks. And I think that by the end of the year, you're going to understand what sticks for me, what doesn't stick for me, what lifestyle sticks for me, what diet sticks for me, what gym routine sticks for me. If you go to the gym, what sports stick for me? What is my creative outlet? What works for me? Am I a writer? Am I a painter? Am I a cinematographer? What am I? How do I want to channel my creativity? I think this is going to be really, really fundamental. And I think that a really big way that you're going to acquire this, pile number 2, is you're going to be acquiring it through people. I think you're going to be really exploring, not dynamics, but you're almost going to be observing how people, go about their day. You're going to be looking at people you admire. You're going to be like, hey, what the hell are they doing? And how can I mimic them, but in my own way? How can I mimic their ways in order to figure out what is the object of my desires? What do I want to do? Because I feel like pile number 2 has been lost. Like, you've been really going all over the place. And this could also be relationships. You've been jumping relationship to relationship, but I really don't sense that if it is relationship, I can kind of get it, but it's not just relationship. You've been doing this with a lot of things in your life. Maybe you've switched majors a lot, like switched like career paths a lot. Maybe you've been going from job to job. Maybe you've been on and off with your parents as well. I think I may be getting that as well. Maybe you're going through, this is a really specific message, maybe you're going through a second divorce, a first or second divorce. I could maybe be getting that as well. I don't get religion, but maybe something religious, or maybe languages. Also like maybe you've been learning a bunch of different languages, learning a bunch of different things, a bunch of different skills, but you're never fully like deepening your knowledge and your mastery of the skills you want to acquire. I think I'm sort of getting that. Well, that sort of like flakiness, you're letting it go. And I think that means you're going to let it go of a lot of different things that weren't actually serving you. So maybe activities. I'm getting more activities. I'm getting more lifestyles, more routines, foods, things that were not serving you. You're going to lock in this year. You're going to be like, even like financially, I think you're going to lock in. I'm getting something really financial too. Like you are going to lock the fuck in. You're going to say, hey, I want my fucking money. I want my bag. I want to be good financially. And not only do I want to be good financially, I want to do something that fulfills me. I don't want to be doing these fucking bullshit jobs. I want to do something that fulfills me. And I'm getting heavy money with the pentacles, And I think that this is definitely something that you are going to be successful with end of the year, not right away. End of the year, I think it's going to be a bit better for you in that regards. Now, I'm going to read to you guys light attributes, shadow attributes of everything. Yeah. Yo, athlete. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Really echoes what I'm saying in a way, right? You're not going to be flimsy anymore. You're not going to be flaky. You're going to hold yourself accountable, and you're going to say, Mr., Mrs., lock in. Khalas. That means enough. Khalas, you're done. You want to be a little bit more put than you have been. And this doesn't mean that you're going to grow rigid. It doesn't mean that you're going to grow close-minded. I think, on the contrary, you're going to be open-minded in regards to a lot of different possibilities. But you're going to know, okay, though I see all of these different possibilities, I really want to dip my toes in this. Artist. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. I feel like this definitely talks about people in your life. You are going to be inspired by people in your life, and you are going to want to inspire like they do. And I think that's where the mimicking comes from. You are inspired by other people's dedication to things, and you're going to say, you know what? I want to be as dedicated. I want to be as inspiring as them. That's lovely. Shadow attributes for athlete: misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Okay. Shadow attributes: using talent as used to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. That one actually resonates a little bit more. I think that a big piece of advice I want to give to this pile is ne te martyrise pas, as we'd say in French. Do not make yourself a martyr. I think that a lot of this self-exploration is going to be coming from a space of choice. You need to understand that when you choose something, you need to bear the consequences of it, and sometimes it is going to be difficult, but it's important to see the light at the end of the tunnel and be like, hey, you know what, I'm sticking to it. And I think that you are going to sometimes want to go back to your more flimsy and flaky tendencies, but I think people in your life are really going to hold you accountable, and you yourself are going to hold you accountable enough to be like, okay, no, I'm going to stick to it. I think that your level of dedication is going to skyrocket. I love that. And you're going to let go of anything that's like really financially disruptive or financially not good. Maybe you're going to leave your job. That's not really what I'm sensing though. Maybe you're going to gain a side hustle, maybe. Anyways, bully highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Yeah, I think you're going to be letting go of a lot of fears. I didn't even think of that. I think that your hesitancy, I think that your almost reservedness vis-a-vis your activity, your lifestyle, your wanting to try something new has been stopping you. I think that you're going to learn how to use it, how to channel it, how to use it to your own benefit, how to use it for your own growth. And I think that's really good. Shadow attributes conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. But I don't really feel a propensity to talk about the shadow attributes for this pile specifically. I think that this is a really productive pile, and maybe you went through a breakup, actually. Maybe you went through a breakup in the past year, and this is actually propelling you to get a move on and become a better person. I think there's a really big glow up that's coming on the way, and I think that it is a bit scary because when you're glowing up, you don't necessarily always know what you're going to glow up to become, and you don't always know what you know, however, that you're going to have to let go of some things, and I think that that's a bit scary. But I think that you're going to let go of these fears, and you're going to let go of this laziness. I think you've been a bit emotionally lazy. I'm calling y'all out. Damn. Hope y'all aren't too sensitive. But anyways, pile number 2, good luck. Let me know how it goes at the end of the year if you remember this pile. This reading, rather. Sorry, I'm tired. Okay, that's it. Hope to see you in another video. Goodbye. It is time for pile number 3. Pile number 3. You chose Rosemary. Addiction. Right off the bat, if you've been addicted to something, getting rid of it next year. I think that's beautiful. For pile number 3, I'm getting something a little bit different. I'm getting like a vibe that I need to choose different cards. I'm getting a vibe that we have to use this one for pile number 3, and we have to choose one from this. Hold on. Let me cook. Okay. So first and foremost, we're going to be choosing from Mr. Archetype deck. Pile number 3. What are you going to be giving up next year? Spreading is really not my forte, as you will probably notice. Okay. Guide. You got guide, you got it like this. So you got it flipped upside down. Addiction. Anything that's workaholic, addiction, burnout potential, you're going to be, I think, really getting rid of that next year. That's something really big that I'm getting for this pile. All of these piles have been really healthy. The hardest one, I think, is going to be number 1. This pile, it's been in the making. You know that you have to do this. It's been in the making, and I think it's coming. It represents the nature of the divine in life and yourself. What really strikes me as important with this card is the shadow attribute. The shadow attribute says, places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. I think that you've been very material. There's a certain form of materialism that you are going to be letting go of. That isn't to say that financially you're going to become broke and miserable. That's just to say that I think that maybe you're going to be a little bit more keen on trying to not be addicted to things. Really, I'm going to addiction. Rosemary really, really evokes intoxication, because I think if you eat rosemary, a too big quantity of rosemary, you could die, because it's toxic to a certain quantity. So I'm really getting this addiction vibe. Rosemary is one of my favorite herbs. It's one of my favorite, it's actually my favorite herb. I find it very versatile. It works with pretty much everything. And I think that there's a certain energy. I need to pick other cards for you. That's all I'm getting so far. I'm getting a lot of addiction. I am definitely getting that the material world, you've been really focusing on other people. I think you've been focusing on other people. You've been focusing on external things. What was this? Master healing, yeah. And you're definitely going to be healing your inner self. You're definitely going to be looking inwards. Kind of like pile 1, actually. No, pile 2. I don't remember. Let's see how my miserable deck shuffling, how that's gonna go. Hold on. Oh, this one got out. Master healing. I fucking got. It's master healing. You are going to be healing. Let's go read what it has to say exactly. I feel like I'm missing a little bit of information. This is also my 3rd pile, so I'm not necessarily. It's gonna be a little bit harder for me to be coherent, but I will definitely be coherent, don't you worry. As you meditation, I really feel like you are going to develop a practice of meditation, or a practice of something that's going to help you center yourself towards yourself instead of other things, which is why I'm getting this addiction energy. Remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. Ooh. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master Serapis Bey, I don't know what that is, comes to you now with the blessing of master healing to further your success on your path. I am getting pharmacy. I don't know why I'm getting pharmacy. I think that you are going to be letting go of things you know are toxic, but that have been seemingly healing to you, and you're actually going to find real remedies to heal your inner plights and your inner battles. And I think it's going to be really, really, really good. I think it's going to be really, really, really good, and really also in the making. I think you've been waiting for quite some time. I opened this out of the blue. Yeah, prostitute. Sex addiction. I think that, again, there's a certain level of material world that you are going to be removing from your life. I think you might, I don't think there's necessarily going to be chastity in your life, but I think you are going to stop seeking validation from sex. I think that's definitely something you're going to learn how to do next year. Maybe it's going to be a bit of a rocky learning curve, but I think it's going to be something that you're going to be wanting to do. So accentuates, okay, wait. Places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Bro, I keep on getting the same message. I swear for pile 1 and 2, I was getting quite a variety of messages, and I was just like, this pile is really straightforward. This pile is really straightforward. This pile is really about addiction. Pile number 3. What have you been addicted towards? It doesn't have to be drugs or something traditionally addictive. It can just be something like a person or a hobby or something that you've been really hyper-focusing on. Let's see with tarot. Let's clarify with tarot other things maybe as well that you're going to be, letting go of. So, witness my pitiful spreading. Oh, wow, the moon. Pisces. Oh, wow, Ace of Cups. Oh, wow, 2 of Cups. Okay, no, khalas, please, please, please. Khalas means enough. Okay. No, too much, too much, too much. All right. You are also going to be releasing a toxic mindset, a lack mindset. I feel like you are going to be releasing a lack mindset. You're going to be releasing a mindset that's focused on what you can't do. You're going to start to focus on what you can do. And I think that that's going to be an important milestone in your life. I think this year is going to be a year that you're going to look back on. You're going to be like, oh, in 2026, my bad, in 2026, I did that. I accomplished that. And you're going to be able to say, I accomplished this, and it's in 2026 that I did that. Some years they go by, you did some things, and they're significant things maybe, but they're not necessarily pinpointable. This year, you're going to do things that are going to be very pinpointable. You are going to actively notice shifts. It's not going to be a subconscious or an unaware experience. You're going to be aware. You're going to be extremely conscious about the experiences that you're going to be going through and the transformations that you're going to undergo. It's almost as if from one day to the other, you're going to wake up, you're like, what the hell, I'm different. You're going to be leveling up in a way that is amazing, and I don't think that you're going to be leveling up in an easy way. I don't think that for this pile it's going to be an easy year, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of hope. This pile is a very hopeful pile. I don't think that it's a really negative pile per se, but I think that you're going to be going through a lot of really intense emotions, and you're going to be purging yourself from a lot of negative emotions that have been inhabiting you and that you have been suppressing, and it's going to be healing. You're going to master your healing, and that's not going to be an easy process for you, but it's super important. And once you will have found all of the different coping mechanisms that help you in your life, you're going to be so much better, and it's going to be so much easier for you. So this pile, I think, is going to live a year that's going to be challenging, but nonetheless really rewarding. Especially 2027, mid 2027 is when the rewards are really going to start to tangibly appear in your life, is what I'm sensing. Oh, leg reveal. Anyways, so I feel like pile number 3 rather, sorry. Maybe go look at pile number 3. You might also resonate with that one, but, or not. No. If you want to ask this question for somebody else, if anybody was like, I wonder who would, what this person would choose, go to pile number 2. That's a really quick message. Ace of Cups, different emotions. There's a new emotional beginning happening where you've been so Have you dealt with depression? Have you dealt with anxiety? I think so. This is a pile where mental illness is definitely something. There's something with mental illness here for sure. But I'm sensing that this year might not feel like the easiest mentally, but you're going to be getting rewards in small pocket-sized things. And these rewards are going to extrapolate themselves. They're going to grow exponentially as the year goes by. Initially, the rewards could be like a simple, somebody bought me coffee. Somebody bought me something amazing, like just like a small little thing. And then you're going to be realizing that your rewards from life are going to be amazing. And why? It's because you will slowly be letting go of a lack mindset. I think this is a really big thing. Not only are you going to be working on your addiction, I think you're going to be letting go of your addiction. I also think, that was 11/11, I think you're going to be letting go of a lack mindset. That's the biggest thing I see here. You're going to be letting go of a relationship. In this pile, I think you're going to be letting go of a relationship that reminds you of negative attributes of your relationship with your mother. There's a relationship in your life that is heavily activating your mother wounds, your feeling of lack of nurture. You're going to feel insufficient in a relationship. You're going to feel like the other person is not meeting your needs, and you're going to let go. And it's not going to be easy. And it's also not going to be for everyone. That's not going to be for everyone. But I think you're going to be able to really grow from it. I think that you're going to have a choice to choose between yourself and another person. And you're going to choose yourself. I really think you're going to choose yourself. Because again, you're growing. You're really letting go. You're really you're really growing into a non-lack mindset that's really, really healing for you. That's lovely. Wow. I'm getting a little bit emotional and also a little bit drained speaking about this pile. And I think it's a lot. Yeah, you're going to be going through a really big year, pile number 3. Yeah, I do look at the 2 doves here, dears. I'm 100% sure a lot of you are going to be letting go of a relationship. Again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be a really important friendship, even like a toxic parent dynamic or a toxic family dynamic, or even a work dynamic that could really remind you of a certain lack of nurture, of a certain lack of care that you're receiving from the opposite end. But I think that you're definitely going to be, it's going to feel, initially it's going to be a bit big, but afterwards you're going to feel relieved. And I think that that's definitely something you're going to be gaining this year, a sense of relief. A sense of relief, a sense of excitement even at all of this new going on. And this excitement is going to really, I'm so sorry, it's going to manifest in really weird ways because it's going to manifest in really weird ways because you are going to be like, well, though so many negative emotions have arisen within me, I'm excited because it's sort of announcing a new me. It's announcing a lot of new, and that's amazing. And I feel like you're going to also be able to maybe communicate them a little bit more. I've been burping a lot in this pile. I think you're really going to be able to communicate them a little bit more. You're going to be able to really verbalize what your emotions are. Maybe you're going to go to you're going to get involved in like a group. Like there's a certain aspect of solitude as well that I think you're going to be letting go of in 2026. You're really going to be finding a sense of community, and that's beauty. That's beauty. You're going to be finding beauty. I think there's going to be some really beautiful things. It's not going to be easy though. 33, creativity as well. If you're into like any creative things, if you're an artist, a singer, I'm getting a lot of y'all are singers, or really into music, that's going to be really important this year. There's going to be a real focus on that. It's going to be towards winter. It's going to be winter, summer, towards the summer. If you want to know, like if any creative endeavors, any creative things that are going to be happening in your life, they're really going to be heavily exacerbated. Not exacerbated, they're going to be heightened. They're going to be a bit more of the focus of the summer. Summer's definitely going to be bringing out all of this like creative juice that you have within you. Oh yeah, you're going to be acting on that, and it's not going to be easy. It's also going to be, you know, tangential to what you're going through in terms of the lack mindset, in terms of the addiction, in terms of all of that. But yeah, I definitely have some good vibes. Pisces is important. Pisces is an important sign. If you have Pisces in your chart, depending on the house that it's in, or depending on the you know, the planet, it could be axed towards what the planet rules, like the part of your life that the planet rules. The planet that aligns with Pisces. Oh yeah. The lobster. I'm definitely getting messages with the lobster. Oh yeah, you're gonna be, this is really going to be foundation. This is gonna be a foundational year for you, because it's going to allow you, it's going to propel you to new levels of love. You're going to find new levels of love, maybe not in 2026, but later on. It's going to be really rewarding. I'm excited for you. Actually, this is a really cute one, but really, damn, but I'm really excited for you. You're me doing the work, and I'm so happy. That's beautiful. You're going to grow into so much more of a beautiful person once 2026 is over, and I'm like so fucking ecstatic for you. I hope you're ecstatic as well, because that's the end of your reading. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. That was my first video. I don't know how I did. Hopefully you enjoy it. All right, bye bye. Yalla, bye.